Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Nerds Drink Whiskey. Originally I was going to do a kind of a second part to my weeded whiskey blind taste test. But to do the blind taste test properly, kind of need my wife to set up the blind taste test so that I am blind and don't know what I'm drinking. She has not been available for that. Felt a little exhausted lately for reasons we won't go into, but we all know and understand and agree with.
I'm tired of playing the game.
So instead, I decided to do a series on something that's been a recent obsession of mine, and that is non-chill filtered whiskeys. There was a couple whiskeys I reviewed a while back that were non-chill filtered, and I noticed that I noticed a slight difference from the non-chill filtered. And so it got me more curious, and I kept reading up more on it and kind of tasting different whiskeys and tasting what the difference is, and well, reading up more on it. And so I've decided to do a series on strictly non-chill filtered. The one thing that I found last night when I was going through and deciding which whiskeys to purchase for this series was that when you say non-chill filtered whiskeys, it tends to lean towards Islay Scotch. For those of you who don't know, Scotch has different regions, and each region of Scotland is known for a different type of Scotch. So when you see in the movies and the TV shows, yes, order me a Scotch, and that's all they say, that's a very uninformed, ignorant order. You haven't mentioned the region of Scotch, the brand of Scotch, or anything like that. But it leans towards the Islay Scotch. So I decided, not just for my personal taste, because I'm not a big fan of Islay's, but also I find it more interesting to pay attention to the underdogs in the non-chill filtered whiskey.
It's just little old me, Underdog.
So I'm going for bourbons, Irish, and things of that nature over the next 3-4 weeks. And then, of course, I will end with the blind taste test for it. We're going to start it out with the whiskey that started it all. But this is my birthday whiskey. Every year, my wife buys me a type of whiskey that is, and she knows that my favorite whiskey is one I have not tried yet. And so she bought me Teeling whiskey, small batch. They also have one that's, I don't know, they have several different types of Teeling whiskeys out there, but they're all Irish, I believe. And this is the one that's non-chill filtered. Actually, I think they're all non-chill filtered. But this is the one that's been finished in rum casks. So now they are, what is it? I think 92 proof. And that is because of the non-chill filtered. Just got to do a little bit of explaining here.
Oh, here it comes. Lots of explaining.
When you do non-chill filtering, basically there's non-chill filter and chill filtered. Most whiskeys, almost all whiskeys, are done chill filtered. And the reason for that is the same reason why if you go to any McDonald's anywhere in the world, the burger tastes the same. It's a very dependable, very stable, very predictable burger. It's not that amazing. Same goes for, and to a lesser extent, like an Applebee's burger. You go to an Applebee's anywhere around and you get a very dependable, very predictable burger. But if you start going to different independently owned taverns, you can end up with a lot of really phenomenal burgers. And the reason is because those burgers were planned and cooked with a passion for cooking a really good burger. Same thing goes for whiskeys. If you're just trying to get on the shelf and you're just trying to make money and you don't really have a passion for whiskey, you go MGP and you just put the stuff out there, right? And you can get a pretty decent, pretty stable, pretty predictable whiskey. But if you want to go a little bit more artisan, maybe you go for an independent distiller, a grain to glass distiller. And to me, the next level of that is
Next level will always be there.
going non-chill filtered. It takes a little bit more, and it's not as easy to perfect. But what happens is you leave in the fatty acids. When you chill filtered, the problem with it is it's all whiskeys are filtered. There's different things, that particulates that end up in the whiskey that need to be filtered out. So, and that's a good thing. But with chill filtering, it takes out the fatty acids, which your mouthfeel is not the most prominent difference is the mouthfeel. Your mouthfeel is not going to be is in depth. There's just not going to be as many complexities, but it also affects the taste, and to me, it really affects the finish. But what most people comment on is the mouthfeel. And as I've said, there's nothing wrong with chill filtering. It's a very predictable, very dependable whiskey, and it looks good on the shelf because non-chill filtered, if it's below the 92 proof, once you get into like the 80 proof whiskeys, 85 proof whiskeys, you can end up with a cloudy glass. And somebody sees a cloudy bottle of whiskey, or you pour a whiskey and it's all cloudy, people think, I don't know, they think the whiskey's gone bad or something.
This Coke's gone bad.
Nothing can be further from the truth. You got those fatty acids in there, and those fatty acids make it cloudy, but they also give you a better whiskey experience. So with all that known, I also want to show off that when you start having to have official Glencairn lids for your Glencairn glass, I think you've reached a new level of whiskey snobbery. So, but the reason I do this is, I don't know if you guys have noticed in the past couple episodes, where I'm always shooing away these gnats that I never see until I bring out a thing of whiskey. These gnats are huge whiskey fans. I have a lid on my Glencairn glass, so you gnats can stay away from my whiskey. But go. They're still trying. But anyways, I think with all that said, I think it's time to check this whiskey out on the nose.
Wow, right on the nose.
I'm sensing, now I've heard a lot of really weird, I've seen a lot of weird reviews that sense things like banana and plum and different things like that. I never smell those things. What I do smell is Cheerios, definitely grain in there. I sense a slight bit of fruitiness, and that may be what they sense with the banana and the plum. And something else too, something really sweet. I'm not sure what. Maybe it's some honey. Yeah, not sure. But definitely very pleasant, very subtle. Nothing too overpowering, especially for a 92. You'd expect a 92 when you get your nose in there. You expect to kind of burn your senses off a little bit. I didn't get that. But I think now it's time to bring on my good friend, Dark Helmet. Dark Helmet, do your thing.
Ludicrous speed!
I would say that is a good solid whiskey. For a whiskey that's around $30 a bottle, this is good. I got to say, I recommend this. I think it is well worth a $30 price. If you like Irish whiskeys, I think Teeling whiskey is a must-have. I mean, it's no Redbreast, but Redbreast is quite a bit more money too. It's got a really good finish, a finish that really lingers. but is never overpowering, which I really like. When you can get into the higher proofs and not be overpowering, that takes a skilled distiller. That does take a master distiller. So I say I'm curious to try the other Teeling whiskeys out there. This is good. Highly recommend. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. So anyways, hope everyone is staying safe. And cheers to you, Teeling, for making a good whiskey. I don't know, kind of light colored too. And but you can see that kind of cloudiness in there. But anyways, see you next week for another episode of Nerds Drink Whiskey.